number isn't that big, okay? Saul Alvarez in America, he is not doing Oscar De La Hoya at 26 type numbers. Let's not get that mistaken. He still only makes like $3 million a fight. Um, this fight has to get made because it's the
I
best
mean,
fight in
if
boxing.
it were me and I was really making this, I could see this at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Canelo versus Triple G in LA.
Yeah, but it's not. They're gonna do Vegas.
I
It's a
guess.
sellout, Lee. It's a sellout.
I'd honestly have this thing packed to the gills with Mexicans and sell tickets for $20 a piece and put as many people into the Coliseum as I could. It'd be like the bullfighting ring for Chavez Sr.
the wealthy, lighter complected Triple G fans will be paying big dollars for up front though. Those no and I'm sure the wealthy Mexican fans will be doing the same. Those prices will be high in the first few rows, I believe, of that fight because they're coming from two fan bases that do bring money. They're saying like 20,000 were there last night at Madison. It was 19.
Yeah, it's a sellout.
Yeah,
It's the same thing
that's
as
an
it's the
awesome
same thing
number,
as the
man.
forum. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's an awesome number for Triple G. Look, I know there was some.
No, I think that he sells out his venue. I'm not even saying that a million people aren't going to watch next week. What are they packaging it up with next week? What fight is happening next Saturday that HBO is going to package this up with?
I don't know. I didn't see
I'm
one.
sure there's something HBO's doing next week to package this up. I totally don't believe that HBO doesn't have boxing
No, you know
planned.
what, Lee? I bet you it's the two fights. It's what they would have done.
Yeah, you know what?
It's
And it's not a bad call
it's what.
because
Yeah.
look, the Chocolito thing is going to get blown over by the media, but you and I never bid on the Chocolito thing, and that's why we don't care. Like, there is a very small percentage of us that are, and I'm absolutely with, like, I hate to say this, I'm going to agree with, what's his name, about Chocolito Gonzalez. Like, I never bought it. It was an Azuma Nelson type thing that, why am I buying off on this guy? I never, at no point did I buy, and I don't know where it started. I don't know where the hype started. I never bought into the hype of Chocolito Gonzalez. I never did. Nothing about him made me want to buy off on him as the pound for pound best guy.
What I think it was, they got pushed a lot from K2 Lee because it was a package deal. It was like Gonzalez.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I say the closest thing I could compare it to is Azuma Nelson, right?
And
Every
I
Mike
think
Tyson
even lower
card.
than that though. At least
No, 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 no. If you think back to Mike
Azuma
Tyson
was
card,
still at least a lightweight at the end of his career. This guy's freaking what down to 116 flyweights, junior flyweights. These divisions are small. Lee. There's
but really back in the day, did Azuma really fight? Was there that? Come on.
Lee. He fought
And
Salvador
and I would say
Sanchez
the
at
same
like
thing. Look,
15
and I
and
don't want to
0.
sound like a dick about it because I'm a huge Michael Carbajal fan, but Michael Carbajal is sort of the same creature. What does it mean to be a lightweight champion? There aren't that many
No,
great
no, no. You,
lightweight
you got to go lower. Lightweights have had a lot of great
lightweight straw.
champions,
Okay,
bro.
who's that straw weight that they always push down our
Yeah,
throats?
Ricardo Lopez.
Ricardo
Yes,
Lopez,
that's
right?
yes, that's him. Guillermo Rigondeaux is having
Yeah,
the
where you're
same
getting that
problem.
jammed down your throat on every
Yeah,
single card.
dude. And what makes me
He's undefeated for the last 475 years.
exactly yes.
That's because there's 12 guys in his division.
The little remember the little what was the guy from the Thailand fighter that you used to talk
Oh
about?
no, Tanzalak Wanjakam,
Yes, he was like
who
50
I
and
was
0.
on the jock
Yes.
strap of forever,
Yeah,
who made it into the top 10. By the way, if you guys didn't really find the humor in that, and the fact that I know that cold for the last 10 years,
but you're
um,
right. He was the champ for
Tanzalak
that.
Wanjakam of Thailand was champion and in the pound for pound list until he fought somebody from Japan who weighed 12 pounds and lost his title, and that was the end of it.
Yep. No,
Black
Ricardo
Wanjakam.
Lopez, Chiquita Gonzalez, and Michael Carbajal are all in the same rankings at one point in their career, and they never fight. And that's the downside I have
It
to
is
all
the
three of them.
burden of any lightweight to straw weight to paperweight to it is the curse of being a lightweight.
Carbajal,
And
it's not a lightweight, Lee. Lightweight
well,
is
you think
135.
lightweight eases into welterweight in your
Jeez
mind.
almighty.
All right.
Carbajal and Ricardo Lopez never fought, and they were in the same division. That's a damn shame, man.
Yeah, that's
That
crazy, right?
yes.
That's Bob Arum.
And Don King. Yeah, they were having
Yeah.
some kind of rift there. They did not want to match those two guys up.
No, they had a rift because they didn't get along.
Yep.
Like they still had wounds over like promoting Ali between the two of them. Like they're angry people. Like Bob is still mad at everybody who's ever screwed him over.
Yeah, especially with the Carbajal Chiquita Gonzalez fight. Man, that was a great one. They could have doubled down with that with Lopez. That would have been awesome.
It is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is. All right, so everybody next week is going to go and watch the replay and make a decision.
Watch the replay. You got to watch the last 7 rounds from 6 to 12. I'm dead serious. This is where the fight's won. Lee, any way you give up the first 4, it's basically a draw. You could have Triple G ahead by 1, or you could have it a draw because there was an argument. Danny takes the first 3 rounds. Yeah, the first 2, he clearly outboxes Triple G. He starts this fight so good, Lee. It was an awesome game plan they had going into Triple G. I mean, man, who would have seen them nullifying all of Triple G's offense for the first 4 rounds? Yeah, he lands that one right hand and puts him down. But Danny wasn't lying. He stands toe-to-toe with them for the next minute and a half. He wasn't hurt. And at the end of the round, he's the one landing the power shots. It was awesome. That was a badass fight by him. A shame his name isn't bigger in America. He would have won. Come on. If he was Danny, it was an HBO fighter, he would have won. They would have brought it back in Las Vegas, and he's the American star. But his market isn't big enough. They want that Triple G versus Canelo. They're forcing it down our throats when the real star might be Danny Jacobs, but politics is holding him out of the HBO circle.
There you go.
That's all you get here, you guys. Don't fucking play with me on this shit. That dude landed the jabs, uppercuts, body shots. Did anyone see in, what was it, the 8th round? Triple G throws like 15, lands 2, and that's the fucking highlight we get? What about the 12 to 13 punches he missed? That dude was Jacobs' head movement, baby. He was all over the place, Lee. Triple G swinging for air. I remember when Floyd did that. That's the greatest defense I've ever seen. Max Kellerman drooling ringside. But you ain't HBO, Danny. You know that. That's where that PBC, that Showtime Connect hurt you last night, or you would have been the champ today. Fuck out of here. Triple G, you better take that payday. You know that 15 million Oscars given you? You might want to take that because you ain't beating those UK guys. Their fans show up. Still disappointed in America on the East Coast for not showing up for Jacobs. One defeat. He's going up against the best in the world. That should have brought out everybody. It sounded like his family was there. There were a few fans there. I'm not saying he didn't have no crowd, but 20,000, 10 to 11 of them, at least 11 of them should have been Danny Jacob fans. That place should have been rocking. At the end of every round, Danny Jacobs lands a power combo. Great game plan. I remember when HBO praised De La Hoya for doing the same shit. Ooh, the last 10 seconds, here we go. They used to act like that was the biggest part of the round because they knew Oscar's game plan was to throw one combo, get the crowd to stand up, and the fucking rest will stamp it at 10. They used to praise it, not last night. Now we're talking about jabs. Number 1 word for Golovkin last night. That was a great jab. Hey, Jim, that was a great jab.
Tune in to all the Fight Net Radio fun. Visit fightnetradio.com so you can listen and be a part of all of our shows.
Hey, Lee.
Yo.
Do my voices sound like them? I'm just kidding.
No.
No, not at all.
Do any of my impersonations sound like the actual people I'm trying to be?
Yes, a lot better. I think a lot more than I do.
How did I have it on the scorecard, Jim? I was writing down funny numbers. I've got it 174 to 12
Teddy out.
for Gennady Golovkin. Jim, he's just faster and quicker. And, you know, back in the days when I was in New York and walking down 3rd Avenue and going into a speakeasy.
Lee, one more thing. Teddy, I know you're doing Letterman, but Teddy yes. Atlas is looking like Teddy a genius Atlas. This morning.
Wait, by the way, that's who I was thinking of earlier. The man who saw through Chocolito.
And he's seen through Triple G, bro. Remember?
Yeah, remember? I don't, look, I'm not sold. You got to give me another high-level guy for me to go, okay, he shot. Look, one fight is, look, for every fighter out there, I will say this about every fighter on the planet. For every person, there is somebody who's got your number. Okay? Don't ever believe that you are, like, I think if Floyd kept fighting, we would eventually find somebody that had Floyd's number.
Of course,
and there are plenty of guys that came awfully close to have his number, right?
And Lee, let me tell you, if they would have somehow made the Margarito fight when it was supposed to get made, the Paul Williams, remember Paul Williams, Floyd, Sergio Martinez versus Floyd, there were some huge fights out there that were never made.
Oh, Pacquiao
in December of December of 09, I think, when he defeats Cotto. That the fight's no higher at that moment right there.
I mean, he still probably wins. Look, I can't.
But they're great fights.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to put down a guy who's 49-0, who's basically gotten away with a shoulder roll and a defensive strategy that is bar none the best I have ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Bar none the best I have ever seen. I wish I was joking about this before my event, right? Like, he knows the crane technique. Like, Floyd Mayweather's crane technique is simply this, right? Which is, he knows this shoulder roll thing where he can keep opponents back and off of him, and he can basically sit behind this shoulder and throw punches when he wants, and nobody can freaking touch him. That's remarkable.
Doesn't mean he's not gifted. Yes, totally.
Right?
Totally.
Mike Tyson's whole philosophy was totally different. Look, I'm just going to hit you as quick as I can. Right? And ultimately, what beat Mike Tyson, right? Mike Tyson and I was talking about this the other day. There is a point of being too aggressive. Guys like Mike Tyson will always have their place because they could just run over and nail guys who can't start. Like, that happens in boxing. It happens in combat sports. Super aggressive guys just come over and they go balls to the walls. But once you get past that first round, Gennady Golovkin, oh, you're in it for 12, aren't you there, big boy? Now, what I think with Gennady Golovkin, because he's a super aggressive pressure fighter, right? We got past 3, 4, and 5. What happened? It's a different fight. And that's what I think occurred here. I think we're looking at a super hyper-aggressive fighter who just wasn't prepared for somebody who thought, my plan is to get past the 5th round.
Yeah, could be.
That's it.
He boxed, Lee. Stood behind a jab, worked his angles, threw combinations. I'm telling you, Danny Jacobs, look, we know he's a humble man. We know he's a good guy. That's why he doesn't have a big fan base in his community. They just, for some reason, they don't like these type of people.
He hasn't sucked dick, made a video. He hasn't, shot a girl. He hasn't shot his brother. He hasn't.
I'm just saying, bro. We know
he's a normal guy.
He said it himself. Yeah, those aren't just my words. Danny came in an interview questioning why he wasn't bigger for being, just trying to stay humble. But either way, he did everything he had to win that fight last night. That was a shame what HBO, what New York, the judges did to him over there in his own city. So yeah, what are you gonna do, Lee? Rematch? Don't see it. I see Canelo. Hey, look it, Nacho. Not talking to Chavez. You gotta talk to Nacho. You better not be thinking about winning the scorecards with Canelo. Sorry, bro. You better look at last night and start telling Chavez Jr., you better knock this dude out or you're not winning this fight. You are not. They will give it to Canelo by 1 point on all 3 judges' scorecards if he loses that fight. Watch. 1 point. All 3 will be the same. I bet you Letterman his scorecard's going to be the exact same as the three judges. It's going to be one of those nights. Oh,